What if the very hurt you're trying to hide is the key to someone else's healing and your own? Wounds, ours, others, and Christ's, are not just remnants of pain, but powerful revelations of love, vulnerability, and divine presence. In Christian theology, wounds are not accidental or shameful interruptions of wholeness. They're often the very places where God shows up the clearest. At the heart of Christianity is a God who chose to be wounded. Christ's pierced side isn't just a sad detail, it's a deep truth. Blood and water flowing from his wound represent baptism and communion, symbols of life and grace. His glory isn't in untouched perfection, but in vulnerable love willing to bleed for others. Even after the resurrection, Jesus keeps his scars. Why? Because the wounds are now part of the revelation. They're not just past pain, they're proof of his love. When Thomas touches the wounds, he doesn't just get physical evidence, he encounters the truth of who Jesus is. It's through those wounds that he declares, "My Lord and my God." That moment turns theology on its head. God isn't some distant, untouchable power. He's close. He understands our present and past pain. Culture says, hide the hurt, but Christ says, let the light in. Today's culture avoids wounds like the plague. We're expected to be polished, put together, and unbothered. Even in church circles, there's an unspoken pressure to keep things upbeat and victorious all the time. But real faith doesn't deny suffering, it transforms it. Wounds, instead of being signs of failure, can become doorways for deeper perception. A friend of mine named Richard taught me that hurt people hurt people. It took me quite some time to fully understand this, if that is even possible. Poet Rumi put it plainly. The wound is where the light enters. That light is Jesus. This idea is echoed throughout Christian thought. The ancient clerics understood that pain can open the heart to truth and love far deeper than comfort ever could. God's vulnerability is the blueprint for ours. Scripture tells a story of a deeply vulnerable God, from walking with Adam in the garden, to weeping through the prophets, to grieving at Lazarus' tomb. At every point, God puts himself in relationship with people who might reject or betray him. Jesus takes that to the extreme on the cross. And that's no accident. It's the center of who God is, not invincible power, but sacrificial love. That's the model we're called to follow, not to avoid wounds, but to let them teach us how to love more deeply. Someone once said our suffering was a nail that fastens us to reality. It hurts, but it also keeps us grounded in what's real. Wounds, when we stop fighting or hiding them, can open us up to vision, compassion, and purpose. Your wounds are not disqualifications, they're invitations. If you're carrying wounds, physical, emotional, spiritual, you're not alone, and you're not broken beyond use. You're being invited into the company of the wounded Christ, who didn't erase his scars but kept them as part of his glory. These wounds might help you see the world differently. They might make you notice kindness where you missed it before, or help you recognize quiet courage in others that once went unseen. You don't have to hide your wounds to serve God. In fact, they might be the very reason someone listens to you. Your pain can be a bridge to someone else's healing. Remember, the light of Christ didn't come from a throne. It poured out from a pierced side. Thanks for watching. If this video strikes a chord in your heart, I'd appreciate you giving it a thumbs up, and invite you to subscribe to the Watcher's Wisdom channel for more insightful, biblically based wisdom. Disclaimer: the opinions expressed in this video are solely my own and are based on my personal experiences. They are not intended as legal advice, financial advice, or any form of professional counseling. Please consult a qualified professional for specific advice tailored to your situation. Your understanding is appreciated.